Hello, everyone. Hello.
Hello, good
You're
evening,
gonna see
Miss
me soon. Let me get the
Lorimo.
agenda so we can get the ball rolling. Okay. Supposed to be a great meeting tonight. Present. Let's see who's going to. We need to take the attendance. Present. Today is 11:22. All right. Let's get into the meetings. Let's see the agenda for November 11. Right, try to check out the agenda. There we have it. Hello, everyone. How you doing, Eva? Hey, Louis, how you doing? Yes. Chanel, hello, Chanel.
Hey, how are you?
My table, give me just 1 second. All right. Yeah, Chanel is gonna help you with the agenda. Chanel, are you listening to us?
Yes, Eva needs to share screen.
Can't you hear me, guys?
Yes,
Hello,
if
can't
it's
you hear me?
possible.
Okay,
If it's possible, yes.
good. Hello, Chanel.
Hi,
Yeah.
Eva. So you should be able to share your screen when you need to.
Okay, so let's see. I'm just looking to see if I have the option down at the bottom and it's not showing that to me.
All right. Let's.
So
I
let
mo-
me
I wanted
let's
to.
go to full screen very quickly and see if maybe it's just that it's hiding. No, it's not showing up on the bottom of my let's just look down here.
It should be when you click on share screen.
No, I don't have that option on the bottom of my Zoom. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I don't know what to say because like the hosts are allowed to share screens, and so I made you co-host, so you should be able
Yeah,
to.
I'm just
If it's
looking
not
at-
showing up, then I don't know.
Yeah. No, I'm just looking to see. That's why I wanted to test it. But let's see.
But look carefully, Eva.
I'm looking carefully. So it says mute, stop video, participants, question and answer, polls, record, raise hand, and then under more, it's not showing as an option either. So what I can do, I don't have to share the screen to do the conversation, but if you like, I can email it to you, and then maybe you can show the Prezi.
Okay.
Why don't we try that? All right.
Hold on. Let me hold on. Let me see. How can I? Okay. All right. It's.
So I'm gonna reply to the email that was sent to me, and then what I'm gonna give you is a link. I'm gonna just send you a link, and then if you click on that link, you should be able, I just sent it. You should be able to show it, and then I can sort of talk through it. All right?
Okay. I just want to say that I have not received the email, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's see. I'm just looking at my sent.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Okay, I'm sending it, I'm replying to the Manhattan Community Board 12.
Oh, no, not that.
Okay, so where would you like me to reply to?
So what happened now? Well,
I'll send you an email reply to that, okay?
Okay,
well, it's 7:05. Well, we determined that I need to call the meeting to order. Yes. All right. Okay. Yes. Good evening, everyone. My name is Faye Florimon, Chair of the Youth and Education Committee. Welcome to the Youth and Education Committee Monday, April 11, 2022. This is meeting number 4. And right now the meeting has been called to order at 7:05 p.m. So I want to welcome all our guests, our members, and everyone attending, whether they are in the Zoom link or whether they are in Facebook or even YouTube. So welcome all. I would like, just for the record, to start asking our colleagues, members of the Youth and Education Committee, specifically members, to identify themselves just for the record. So, yes, members, just say your name for the record.
Gabriela Estrella, welcome everybody.
Thank you, Gabriela. Next.
Hi, this is Michelle Lee.
Michelle, thank you. Michelle Liz, next, yes.
Hi, good evening. This is Wendy Peña.
Wendy Peña, wonderful. Thank you, Wendy. Next.
Good evening, everyone. This is Luis Cruz.
Luis Cruz, okay, thank you, Luis. Let's see who else we have. Any other member? Okay, let's see, we have, I'm looking at the, okay, so no other members. Okay, so I guess that they will come later on. All right. All right. So as you can see, I would like to go and thank you, Callis, for identifying yourself. I know there are other members that are still pending, so they will come later on, hopefully. So I just want to go briefly through the agenda. As you can see, we are having 2 guests. We have Dr. Eva Lopez, who is going to be presenting At Change, which is it's a theory program. Then we're going to have a second presentation from PAL, representative from PAL. And then we're going to have our new and old business. But between new and old business, of course, we're going to allow members to ask questions. So it's important to explain to you that the first folks that will be asking questions will be members of the committee. One members of the committee is finished asking their question to the guests, then we transfer it, it will follow in any other participants that may want to ask question. Then once the questions and answer phase of the agenda is over, we're gonna move to the old and new business where folks, anyone, including our present guests, may have any information, any community announcement that they want to share with the community. So that will be the time to make any public announcement. And then, of course, after that section or that phase of the meeting, we're going to be adjourning the meeting. The meeting is supposed to be until 9 o'clock. So let's see if we can hopefully end this meeting on time or before. So let's proceed to see if Eva if she is ready for the to start the meeting. Eva, are we ready with you?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, let me just quickly, allow me just 1 second quickly so I can introduce the agenda or the item. So yes, but you're going to identify yourself, of course. I wanted to say that Dr. Eva Lopez, she's the executive director of Crossroad Connection Incorporated. And the title that she's presenting is Act for Change, which is a theory for positive social change, in which you are going to further elaborate about what this it's all about. I also wanted to say that she's also I think an associate professor at John Jay College. So Dr. Lopez, please, just, the floor is yours. And thank
Okay.
you for joining us. Thank you.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you very much for inviting me to your meeting and to your committee meeting. I want to start off by just giving you a little background about myself and the work that I do. I am, as Faye said, the executive director of Crossroad Connections Incorporated. I'm also an assistant professor over at John Jay College in the Latinx Studies Department. And my areas of expertise are participatory theater and practice, primarily coming out of Latin America and Latinx theater here in the United States. I also work in the area of youth development and community engagement, and sort of braid those three ideas and those fields to engage community in exploration and examinations of the conditions in which people live. And so one of the major programs that we have is called the Act for Change Violence Prevention Project, which is a community theater arts project that uses theater of the oppressed, or has adapted theater of the oppressed, which is a technique that comes out of Brazil, to work with young people and adults, and to examine the social conditions that working class and low income communities are living in. We also do college student development, family and community and parent engagement, and we also do a series of professional developments for the New York State Department of Disabilities. And most of our work is really about working with young people to enhance and expand their creative capacity. We believe strongly in the use of the arts as a vehicle for social change. And so a good deal of the work is about working with young people, having them create original work on issues that they feel are important and that need to be addressed in their communities. And then we work together with a series of community-based organizations to do those presentations, and then to do an interactive presentation where the young people perform, the audience asks questions, and then the audience changes. My dog is getting ready to bark, so I'm gonna hold on. Hey, down. So the young people then presented before an audience, and the audience interrogates, asks questions, comes up with solutions, and then they are not allowed to off the hook at that point. They have to come on stage and show us the solution to the issue that we have addressed. Last year, we worked on a piece called On the Basis of 680, which looked at a series of incidents that happened both across the country and in New York City. And it examined ICE raids and how ICE raids have been impacting children here in New York City and across the country. We also did a piece with a group of young people in Lincoln Hospital called Rona in the BX. And so the young people were really looking at how COVID-19 had impacted the Mott Haven area of the Bronx and what had transpired in Lincoln Hospital and in the businesses in the area. We also did a piece called Por Esperanza, which examined the vaccine hesitancy. And so we really worked, we did that during the summer, and we worked with communities to really address what people were experiencing, you know, what anxiety was in place, why they were afraid of getting the vaccine, and then having conversations with them around what can be done to alleviate that tension in the area. So we did several things last year, and then this year we started to work with a group of young people, children in a homeless shelter in the Bronx. And the young people really started to look at bullying in their schools and examined what we call anti-immigrant bullying, which that was taking place in their area. And then we've also worked with a group of teenagers. So we've been pretty busy working with youth, having conversations, and we're going to be moving on to doing some examination of environmental justice. The young people really wanted to do an examination of that. So one of the things, actually, if you can go back a bit to go back, right, thanks. So if you can click on the Act for Change, thank you so much. So as we said, our project is called the Violence Prevention Project, and it's because the young people have really started to examine violence from a very broad perspective. We partnered this year with the SOBRO, which is the South Bronx Overall Economic Development Corporation, and we worked with young people to start looking at environment. Okay, and now you can click on to the next slide, the next round ball. Yeah. And I believe, I'm not sure if you have in there, if you click there, there's a young lady, I believe, that speaks. Not sure if you can do that. All right. Well, if it looks like we can't, so what we'll do is I'll just sort of explain. She does a conversation on what does environmental justice mean in the South Bronx. And one of the things that the young people discussed was it's not only about recycling or about air quality, but it is also about how young people are being treated. And so they drew a very interesting connection between bullying and some of the environmental justice issues. And that was one of the things that she discusses in her essay. We can move on to the next slide. Yeah, yeah. Community engagement. Yeah. So as we said, we started off working with some young people who were in a transitional housing facility. And then and that group of young people who wrote the piece were very young. They were between the ages of 6 and 10. And then our teenagers read the piece and so decided that they would perform the piece virtually for the group and for the community. And so I think if you click on No Bullying Forever, that was the title that the children gave their piece. And it was called No Bullying Forever. Ironically, it really looked at bullying, but in a very unique way, from a sort of the use of anti-immigrant rhetoric and how it was playing itself out in the lives of our children. Okay. You can move on to the next slide, I believe. Okay, that should be a recording, but I'm not sure if you're getting it, so you can go on up to.
Everything is recorded.
No, I mean in the mechanism. So one of the things that the young people did, the teenagers did, was that they did a social action project and decided that you could go to each, yeah, thank you. They decided to do a Three Kings celebration for the children at the transitional housing facility. And so, we bought gifts for the children, and then we dressed up in the traditional garb of Three Kings, and then went over to the facility and gave the children their gifts. Among the issues that came up with the group also was this, as you all know, there was a major fire in the Bronx where 13 lives were lost. Many of the lives were attended the Islamic Cultural Center, and some of our young people were from the center. And so what we did was that we engaged with the cultural center, and then the young people helped with their organizing the clothing and all of the donations that had come in, and helped with the distribution of some of the food and things that some of the families needed as a result. The final piece that the teenagers engaged in then was this question of environmental justice. And so they started to write short scenes on issues of the environment. One was on to vegan or not vegan, which is a scene that about families and learning about being more plant-based in terms of our diets. And so it was rather charming, right, to have the children talk about, you know, this is my first hamburger, and oh my God, you ate a hamburger. You know? So there was they started to really take a look at what it means to eat red meat and why it's not only bad in some cases for our health, but also for our environment, which I thought was a rather interesting conversation. And then the one of the other scenes was called Turtles All the Way Down, which was sort of a very original story about a young person who litters in the ocean, throws garbage into the beach, and then that young person wakes up as a sea turtle and experiences the effects of pollution. So that's a piece that we'll probably be expanding on and working on during the summer. And then the last is really just the young people talking about what their experiences were. So, you know, this year they really are looking at environmental sustainability, social justice, bullying, and really becoming more socially aware and responsible. The younger children from 6 to 10 are now going to be working on a No Bullying Forever campaign, and they're doing some artwork, which is going to be posted up on the bus stops and on the train stations in the East Tremont section of the Bronx. And yep, and I guess that's it.
All right. And I'm going to open up the floor for, for questions. And okay, I guess that we can, yeah, thank you. So guys, just raise your hand. Members of the committee are going to ask questions first. So members, who has a question? Let's see. So who's raising hands here? Oh, not me. Not yet. Anybody has a question, guys? Looking at the church. Let's see. So nobody has questions? Gabriela? Gabriela?
No questions.
Questions?
Love the presentation.
Okay, I just want to make sure that, you're still there, folks are still there, listen to this, because sometimes, it's the case that we got busy and all that. Okay, so I guess nobody has questions. All right, Dr. Lopez, I do have questions. I wanted just to know about the recruitment process, how is your recruitment process actually is done?
So part of our participation is that we partner with particular organizations. So in the Washington Heights area, we are going to be offering programming at the Holyrood Church that's right there on 179th Street in Fort Washington. The Father Barrios, or I'm not sure if he's a father. I think it's Pastor Barrios. But so we're going to be doing a program there that's going to begin actually in May. And I can certainly email you the flyer for that program. So that's primarily how we recruit. We do presentations in schools, in different centers, depending on who who hires us to go into their facility. So I know that in Washington Heights, we're going to be in that area.
All right. So this will be the first time that you would be conducting theater activity in Washington Heights?
It will be the first time. We've done most of our work in the South Bronx area, primarily Hunts Point, Morrisana, Mott Haven neighborhood. And so, yeah, this is going to be the first time where we're actually going to be up in the Heights, which is great because I used to live there. So looking forward to being there.
On the question that I previously asked, in terms of how you do recruitment, so basically you join to a particular non-for-profit organization, is that it? Or you join also to private business? I just wanted to get like some sort of
Yeah.
idea how recruiting actually happen, because you may go to a park and start advertising your program, or you go to a particular school. That's what I wanted to get like more, direct
Right.
idea how exactly you recruit students.
Right. So primarily, depending on the partnership in the school or in the facility or whatever organization we partner with, that's where we do our recruitment from. And so we do presentations in schools, in community centers, in churches, wherever an organization, if an organization is interested in us providing service, then we do the internal recruitment in that particular organization. Mhm.
And let me ask you another question. So what is the age that you work with? If you work only with children, or you working only with adults, or both, and so forth?
We do work with both. We work right now where, for example, the shelter at the Gloria House facility, we worked with 6 to 10-year-olds. Right now, we're working at a middle school that is from 11 to 14-year-olds. We have also, when we work with our teenagers, usually our teenagers can be anywhere from 16 and include about 21-year-olds, because sometimes we have college students that are working with us as well.
Okay.
One of the things that was really interesting is that we last summer we worked with our teens, and the parents came to see the performance, and then one of the parents came to me and said, "Oh, I want to be in the play. I'll be in the next one." And so she participated in Por Esperanza. So oftentimes we use community members if they're interested. We use parents. We'll use young people. So we really have a broad reach in terms of working with different populations.
Okay. So, but that doesn't, you don't recruit adults at all? No adults?
We do recruit adults. Often, one of the things that we do is that we have parent workshops, and then in those parent workshops, that's where we do our recruitment. So right now, for example, we're doing a workshop on how to talk to your child about dating, right? And in that workshop, we do that workshop using image theater, where parents kind of create these images and then have a dialogue about the issue at hand. And then from there, I encourage parents to come and participate in the play that we're working on, or in the next project that we're going to do. So we really try to do an intergenerational mix of performances, so that we'll have adults with middle schoolers, with teenagers, all performing together, right? As they create the work and then they perform together.
Wonderful. All right. Well, all this question helped me to do referral for you. I know adults that are interested to going into theater, and
Lovely.
yeah. So that might be probably a possibility. So I can refer them to you, not only adults, but maybe few kids that they love. The idea of acting.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, we'll have that flyer. We're going to be giving that flyer to Father Barrios. And so, by all means, we're looking for young people to participate in the project. That project is going to meet on Saturdays.
Good.
And so it'll be a 3-hour
Rehearsal.
session, and we'll be doing about, I believe it's 10 weeks
Yeah, rehearsal.
of sessions. Yeah, we'd be very excited. I do want to mention one thing, and I think you all probably have this information already, but the Summer Youth Employment Program is up and running, and I know that they are accepting applications. The deadline is April 22nd. So, and we have a partnership with them as well. We partner with one of the organizations in the Bronx. So if young people are interested in participating in a project during the summer, they can certainly apply for SYEP. And if they select I'm in partnership with Sobro. So if they select Sobro as their provider, and they get selected because, it's a lottery. So if they get selected for employment and they want to work on the project, I would be one of the people that they can work for.
Wonderful. Well, that's good to know. And actually, I think Louis can speak to that because Louis also work with young people and finding jobs.
Yeah.
That particular program, I think that Louis also, work with. I don't know if Wendy is actually wanted to pick on that, about, because she also worked for Youth Initiative, and I guess that they also are registered for the Youth Summit Employment. So, Wendy, you have anything to say about that?
No, I don't have any notes, but I am definitely interested in some of the workshops and activities, both on the youth end and on the parent end. So my agency works with several schools in District 6 communities. So I do have your email, Dr. Lopez, and I'll be reaching out to you of how maybe we can explore other opportunities for your workshops and for your agency within the community.
Okay, terrific.
Thank you, Wendy. What about you? Louis, you want to say anything? And also Ali? Louis, you want to say anything? Okay, Guillermo, so maybe you may have any suggestion, any question.
Yes, and hello everyone. And after few meetings absent due to my mother illness, and finally, she passed away, and recently, so I'm back in the meetings, and I am very, very proud of the conference today, and this topic, because I used to manage 24 shelters in the Bronx, and I'm talking about maybe 4 years ago. And I know the need that those kids have, and mothers, single parents that are living in those buildings with those shelters locations. And one of the things that I would like to ask her is there are so many celebrations that those kids need support. And one of them is the 3 Kings that I heard her, that I used to dress and bring a gift, and a lot of book bags and things like that. And also we used to cook for them in Christmas and Thanksgiving season. And 4th of July, we used to do, a good food for them, cook for them, and go in the park and all that kind of thing. Are you doing some kind of like a fest, a street fair, at the location where you have those shelters, or taking them to someplace else?
No, we what we do is that we offer the services at their location. We have not, what right now they're going to be working on, as I said, they're going to be, they're doing their No Bullying Forever campaign. And so what they're going to do is they're doing a series of artwork, which they already did on their, and actually I might have the little booklet, but they already did the artwork in their little book, because the play that they wrote, we put it in a little booklet for them, and I might, if I can show it to you, I will. And then they're gonna do artwork, and then they're creating what they call words of kindness, and they'll do artwork and create that, and then we will blow it up. We're actually in the process of trying to get the permission with MTA and see if we can have that artwork shown on the newer buses that have the video things. So we're talking to them about that. We'll see if that's possible. We're not sure. But in either case, they will be putting that artwork on their street lamps, along their street, and also along their buildings. We are going to be talking to them about summer programming, but they haven't approached us yet on that.
I don't know if you heard about Lions Clubs International, and they have a good program that is named, yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, they have a program that is named a Peace Poster, where we provide the materials for the kids to draw in what peace means for them. Wherever they paint in there, we'll go in open event to choose the most beautiful one that goes through a peace throughout the world. And they get a scholarship, they get computers, they get a lot of gifts. And I would like to see, if I can get with Faye later, I will get your phone number and see if we can get in contact, and we can have some of those kids participating in this program.
That'd be lovely. Yeah, I'll definitely, pull them in, because they're quite lovely. Also, the other piece is that sometimes they're very transient, because they do get moved, of course, if they get permanent housing. So it may be the same children, it might be different children, but
Okay.
we'll definitely connect them to that program for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I just wanted to thank you, Ali, and our condolence on behalf of the Entitled Committee.
Thank you. Thank you.
Over the phone. So I'm really sorry that, you lost your dear mother. That's really very, personal to me. And I'm
Thank you.
sorry. Yes. So I didn't see any hands raised here. So I guess that at this point and all the time that we already have consumed, I guess that it's time for us to move to the next presentation. Dr. Lopez, I want to thank you for your time and for your presentation. I certainly would like to encourage you to stay so you can witness the next presentation and for possible collaboration. So that I think you're going to find it not only interesting, but also very helpful. And since this is all about connecting the dots, connecting organization, connecting folks. So please stick around and until the end of this, of the next presentation. So thank you again. So let's go now to our next presenter. Who is our next guest is Ramon Spence or Spencer. He's the center director at the Armory Center Police Athletic League. And I believe he's going to actually correct the presentation on the title.
Yeah,
Is it
I
a
just
little
need
bit
to
different?
be co-host for my computer. It's the one that says Power Armory.
Give me, okay, let's see. So, Mr. Spencer, just let me welcome, and the floor is yours.
Okay.
Thank you, for your willingness to present.
Right. I don't know why it's showing in this view, but nonetheless. All right, so good evening. Thank you for having me. Can everyone hear me good?
Yes.
All right, cool. So thank you for having me. My name is Ramon Spence. I am the center director here at the Armory Center for the Police Athletic League. I'm just going to give you a brief overview of what we do here. Just explain a little bit of my role and what I do as a youth developer within the community, and just how long I've been doing it, and just the parts I've played within the industry itself. So like I said, the Armory Youth Center. So this is the Police Athletic League's mission statement. So the mission of the Police Athletic League, together with NYPD and the law enforcement community, supports and inspires New York City youth to realize their full individual potential as productive members of society. All right, so our motto is the best friend a kid can have. We are a DYCD funded program. So we're funded through the Department of Youth and Community Development. So all of our programs are free for the public who come in and attend. So some of our program highlights include fitness and recreation, wellness, and STEAM-based learning. And for those of you who may not be familiar with STEAM, it's science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. So for fitness and recreation, we have middle school and high school intramurals, meaning co-ed sports, PAL Cops and Kids leagues, where the cops actually play on the teams with the kids. They coach them through the league. And it is in different sports such as basketball, volleyball. And then we also have low organizational games. So for individuals who may not want to be part of a sports team, we have basic gym activities. We have a game room, or just some basic low org games that they can do within the game room or gymnasium themselves. The wellness portion. So we offer a lot of mental wellness resources. All of our resources are credible. They come from the National Institute of Mental Health. So it's not just something we make off the top of our heads. When we talk about wellness, facility culture, so in the field of youth development, everything matters when you walk into a facility that determines the growth of a youth, from the lighting to the paint on the walls, to the amount of air that they receive. So all of that is important. So one thing that we've done here at the site was make it an environment that promotes wellness. From the moment you walk in, you can tell the theme of the center. So we have, and you know what, I'll get into that later. I'll show you some pictures later on when referring to the wellness portion. Now we're gonna go into STEAM. So for the STEAM, this is more of the academic approach we take here at the site. We let a lot of our participants know that they are student athletes. We do not run the site as an after-school program. We run it as more of a place for the community, so the kids can come in and feel at home. One thing that we've noticed was that a lot of the participants or students tend to shy away when they hear the word after school. That's the generation that we are in now, so we respect that. So we promote it as a place for them to come in. It's not so much coming in for after school, but it's more coming in for an experience. And you'll see from the pictures later on. So we follow a project-based learning approach. And the purpose of that is to basically promote mastery of skill for the participants. So they come in and they're spending a certain amount of weeks towards a specific goal or working towards a specific skill set, whether it's in a specific sport, whether it's in a cooking program because they take nutrition, or whether it's in one of our academic programs in correlation, let's say in one of our coding programs or web design, or even within the biology lab itself. So it's all project-based learning. Voice and choice. So the participants are able to come in and choose the activity that they would like to take part in based on the theme of the day. So we do follow a set schedule. For example, so every Monday is STEM Mondays. So we offer a range of activities that the participants can take part in, but they're all related to STEM. So one of the components is STEM through sport. So they're learning a specific sport, but they're learning the science aspect of it. So they're learning things like what is cardio, what specific muscles are used towards a specific sport. So they're not just given a basketball and playing with it. As far as credentials go for to teach that, I myself am experienced in coaching. I also have I'm a master personal trainer through ISSA and NASM. And then some of my staff are also personal trainers as well. Underneath a master trainer certification, it includes things such as sports nutrition, performance enhancement. We are working on a model to try to offer it for more than just middle school and high school. I'm working on opening it up to adults as well, but that takes contracts and insurance, all right? But we are working on it. These are just some of the before and after pictures just to show you how we're promoting the wellness aspect of the site. So the before pictures are at the top, the ones at the bottom are the after pictures. Some of this work, the staff and myself did personally, and we got the kids involved in the work as well. So the kids actually took part in the makeup of the site and how it looks. This is the welcome area. So this is just while it was under construction at the top. The bottom is the new way it looks. All the vending machines are being replaced with healthier options for the participants. In addition to that, if you look in the picture, there's a tree there. So that tree is basically the wellness tree. So everything inside the site promotes social emotional learning. That's the foundation within youth development itself. It's a science behind it that teaches basically self-awareness, social awareness, responsibility in young people. And studies have shown that individuals who receive proper social emotional learning before it was taken out of the schools end up more successful within their careers and just as being more productive in life. So we're very heavy on social emotional learning here at the site. This is the community agreement trail. So at the top is how the hallway used to look. This mural, and if you ever stop by the site, you can see it in person. It promotes STEM, but we're doing it from a different approach. They're all female leaders in STEM, just to show the female audience that there are leaders within that field as well. All right. The Diversity Lounge. So the Diversity Lounge, if you look at the bottom picture, the way it's been changed around, if you see like the blue lights at the top, those are all blue light filters to promote tranquility. All of the games within the game room are all team-based activities. So there's no activities where the participants, even the arcade games like Pac-Man, they all promote teamwork. So you can't play it unless you have a teammate with you. All right. The biology lab. So this is one of the labs I was referring to. The kids come in here. It's all project-based learning. Every single learning activity here is interactive. So for this one, for the biology lab, it promotes not only STEM, but more towards leadership. So there are animals inside the biology lab. We do have an axolotl, which is pretty much an almost extinct animal. It's illegal to have in 40 different states, but we are fortunate enough to have one here where the participants are learning about the habitat, how to take care of it. It comes all the way from New Mexico, how to care for it, when to feed them. They wear special suits just to go into the lab to take care of them. So they learn a lot towards leadership and responsibility. The animation studio. So for the animation studio, this is where the participants are learning coding and web design. It's a partnership that we have with a program called CS Extends. And I'll show you one of the pictures later on for robotics, what some of the participants worked on. Okay. So program highlights. This is the nutrition program we were referring to. We teach the kids kitchen safety, They learn how to chop up vegetables, macronutrition, micronutrition. They all take what are called the My Plate quiz to find out just what type of nutritional diets that they're following and what they may need enhancements in or what they're having too much of. This is one of the models here of one of the Lego cities that the participants created. It's through their words, it's supposed to be New York City where aliens have taken over and it's Godzilla versus King Kong. And they actually made a whole animation out of it through the CS Extends program, through the coding program. This is one of our Cops and Kids component here, where the cops were coming in, they were playing games with the kids. We also had like a whole event. It takes place in June every year. It's called Cops and Kids Day. This is some of the pictures from the Cops and Kids Day. These are some of the community events we've done. This is with Lala Anthony. This is the resource center I was referring to. So all these pamphlets here, anytime you need any type of resources, they're located at the front, as well as inside of the Cultural and Diversity Lounge for the participants to pick up and read things on topics such as stress as a teenager, eating disorders, depression, anxiety, social anxiety. So anything that they're going through. One thing in my experience as a youth developer, and I've been doing this since I was about 14 years old, I'm 32 now. And one thing I've learned is that with the middle school group, and that's the focus of the site here, well, at least that's one of the contracts, I should say, is that particular age group is always, I call it the forgotten age group, because often many people forget about that age group, and they're at the age where they're going through puberty and they're forgetting, they're trying to discover themselves, they're learning who they are. So when they get off into high school, they choose the path that the group that they want to take part in short terms, right? If they're not steered correctly within those 3 years in middle school from 6th to 8th grade, odds of them having a more productive high school decreases, right? So that's why it's so important to have the proper type of activities and programming available for them and for the community, right? Because they are going through a lot. Perfect. So I'll open up the floor. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask.
Thank you, Mr. Spence. You say Spence or Spencer?
Spence.
Spence, okay. Well, Mr. Spence, thank you, for presenting. Yes, I just wanted to reiterate again that members of the committee go first, and then we will pass the questions to other. So, oh, by the way, before I continue or allow the questions, I just wanted to acknowledge, although they may not be able to or want it. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sometimes I experience this difficulty in which the computer threw me out of the meeting and I don't know what's going on. So I do apologize for that, but it's some technical problems. And quite often this happens. So I was just saying that I wanted to acknowledge to the colleagues that came, that joined the meeting a little bit late, but they are with us, which is Miriam James, Guillermo Perez, Ali, we call Ali. He already doesn't feel well. She's being excused. And Bonilla, he said that he did not receive, Daniel Bonilla, he said that he did not receive the link. So that, let's see how it's going to, how this is going to play out. But I was going to acknowledge that this folks, Miriam and Ali or Guillermo Perez, they are present, and I want to thank you. So now, guys, do you have a question for Mr. Spence? Well, I guess since I didn't hear anyone, I do wanted to actually ask you a question. So I understand that there is a new dynamic at the center of at the Armory, let's say, which is the name that most folks, knows in the community. And where Al Curlan, used to be as well. He used to be in so many places, but I know that from time to time he also used to station there. So since after COVID, a lot of program has changed. So I just would like to, among all the information that you're presenting, if there is a specific item or program or anything new that you would like to emphasize and you wanted to convey that message, to the community, what would be that?
I would say to just come on in. I'm sorry. Yeah, I would say to just come on in and join the Armory Center. That's really the message. So our funding depends on the amount of participation. So it's been extremely difficult to, I'll be candid, to get in contact with the local schools, particularly because they have similar contracts to ours. And it's been a challenge to try to bring the youth and try to create that partnership with the schools and the community in order to have the center just to stay open. So I would say if you know any middle schoolers or high schoolers, especially middle schoolers that are in need of the services, and we're open Monday through Saturday, please just send them over, have them sign up for the program. We haven't changed anything as far as with the site. We still offer the same program. The only thing we did was really add on to it and just basically add it onto the programs itself and remodel the building. So I guess I can finish. I can add a little bit more to it. So full disclosure, so I was a PAL kid myself. I grew up in the police athletic league. I've been here since I was about 5 years old, and I've managed other sites outside of this one. And one of the specialties that I have in this field is my ability to be able to relate to the different roles that come in and out of a community center, understanding just the importance of the word community and the needs of the community. One thing that I like to do, and everything that I did in the site was intentional. Whenever I go to a new site and I'm taking it over for the first time, I walk through the community just to get a feel of the people that's there. Some of the things that they may need resources for, or I'll stop at the local businesses. And one of the biggest things that I found was that there was a demand for just the mental wellness and the fitness and the exposure to STEM-based learning. So that's one of the reasons why we pretty much structured the site how it is now, just promoting that aspect for people to be able to come in and just feel comfortable when they walk into the building. Our word that we use here is it's an experience. So whenever an individual walks into the building, we definitely want to make it an experience and not so much, like I said, focus on the fact that it's an after-school program itself.
Thank you, and I'm sorry, I have to apologize again. Now I'm using my telephone to see if I can go back, but I guess someone else was asking question, right? Anybody else?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Somebody was going to speak. Yes? Is anybody ask question while I was absent for this few minutes?
No, I think Ava wanted to speak, and I think Al had something to say as well.
All right, so I will continue on my phone. Is Al with us? I think he's watching our YouTube. So, well, I guess I missed that part but I can go back to the transcript and definitely, listen to what you are saying.
There's some questions inside the chat.
You can feel free to answer since my hands are actually, I see out here now. Yeah, my hands are tied. We also have Steve Simons. Let's see. So can you see the questions?
Yeah,
I mean,
I can.
can you see that? Yeah, by all means, please just feel free to call the person so they can unmute themselves. I see that Steve Simon has a questions. Yeah, Steve, go ahead.
Am I coming through? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. First thing I want to say is that I've only spoken to Ramon over the phone a couple of times briefly, and I've never really seen him in action. And I'm very impressed by his presentation tonight. And I'm impressed at the breadth of the program that he's offering and the different things that he's trying to address to benefit the kids in his program. So I look forward to actually meeting him and getting to see the program in operation. But I think it's incumbent upon the community board, of which I am a member as well, to try to help him and to further publicize the availability of this program. And that was one reason I encouraged him to come and speak to your committee. I'm wondering, Ramon, do you have a flyer, something that we could, that the community board can send out to the general community, letting them know that they can come and join the program?
Yes, we actually have a few flyers that I can send over to you.
Okay, well, if you don't mind, send them to me, send them to Faye, and we'll pass them on so that we can try to assist you.
Perfect. And one thing I did want to point out as well is that the participants that attend the program, they take, on top of the My Plate quiz to learn about their nutrition, they also take a learning style quiz and a color quiz. So the learning style quiz basically allows for the staff to understand what type of learner the participant is, whether they're an audio learner, where they learn through hearing, or they learn through words, through written words, where each participant takes one of those and is stored into their file, as well as like a personality quiz, so we can get to know them a little bit more. So everything, like I said, is intentional.
All right. Faye, Eva Lopez has her hand up.
Yes, I see it. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. And thank you for, referring Mr. Spence to us as well. So, Dr. Lopez, please, yeah, it's your turn. Ask the question, please.
Yeah, I'm very excited about your facility, and I am wondering, what are your hours of operation?
So the hours of operation typically, we are Mondays and Tuesdays, we're 11 to 7 p.m. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we are 10 to 6 p.m. But the teenagers come in on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 6:30 to 9:30. And then Saturdays, we're open 4 to 6. I am currently working on the new contracts for the next upcoming school year. I have been negotiating to get some new stuff for the site to offer elementary school and middle school programming. I can't make any promises as of yet because there are approval processes for that. And there is an entire process that you have to go through to even be approved. That's outside of our hands to get those contracts. But we are working on other contracts to be able to extend the hours even longer.
Okay. Okay. So anybody else?
And I do have another question. I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
Faye.
Go ahead.
What number of students do you need? What is your enrollment target?
So my enrollment target is about 50 participants. I'm currently over enrolled. I have about 85 middle schoolers enrolled, and for high school, it's about 100. We have about 200 enrolled.
Okay. And you want to increase that number, or?
I'm looking to increase the number, but I'm also looking to increase retention, meaning the amount of participants coming in and out of the facility on a daily basis. I would like to have the building, to be honest with you, I would like to have the building packed. But right now I'm working around everyone else's schedule, and I'm getting what I can. But my only fear is that come September, those numbers will plummet because the schools just aren't responding to me. So that's really the biggest concern, is getting into the schools to be able to promote the programs. I can't promote it to the families if the principals don't let me in.
Right?
Okay. They have their.
All right. So Dr. Lopez, this is it for you and your side?
I'm sorry. Yes.
All right. Steve, do you have another question? I see your hands is still raised.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Or still up? Yeah. Oh, okay. So anybody else? Members, you still have the chance to ask questions.
You have Guillermo Perez and Al Curland.
Let's see, but I didn't see their hands up. Okay.
Oh, their hands are up.
Guillermo.
Their hands are definitely up.
Oh, okay. I didn't see it. Thank you, Steve. So Guillermo, go ahead, please.
Yes, I would like to congratulate Mr. Spence. He's doing a great job. And one of the things I would like to ask him is what kind of program he has in order to promote knocking doors in the community to have kids involved in the program. Because one of the things that I've been experiencing working with different schools and some program that they have right now as a continuing education program at nighttime in the school, that kind of things. I see that many of the parents are working on what is happening with the after school programs. And we're losing a lot of programs. And I think we have on the Armory, we have what we need. So the only thing is how can we promote and bring out to the community the programs that they have, and the facilities open to how can our kids get involved in the Armory and come and join part of the program is there. And I think that is one of the things I would like to know. And the other thing is, if you can share with Spence my email and my contact information, any promotion that he has, I can help him to promote throughout my pages and on my website, and see how can we help to bring more kids involved in the program.
Definitely. So I would say, so it starts really with getting into the schools and promoting the programs to try to, that's our retention strategy. I've also been fortunate enough to make connections because I've been in this field for such a long time with different organizations around the city. So that's really what I've been depending on throughout the pandemic, and just going out in the street and handing out flyers. But besides that, it's been extremely challenging to really try to get the participants brought into the programs because they're inside the school the entire day. What I would say is, and not to get too political, is that it really goes into city contracts. Those are really, your city contracts determine the restraints that you have within your community center itself. Typically, government contracts are not really designed for community center. They're really designed for school-based models. So that's why I'm exploring with our corporate office other contract options and grants to be able to come into the site to be able to offer more outside programming. So that's my background. So just full disclosure, even though my background and experience is in youth development, my degree is in business. So I approach things from a business standpoint, and I look at what's not working and what is working. So yes, I'll have a youth development approach, but when it comes to the business aspect of it, just the truth behind it is that it all depends on your contract. And when you have the right type of contract for a community center, that's what allows for your program to be able to grow. If you don't have the proper contract, one that allows freedom, right? Because you can't place restraints on a specific community if that's not the culture of the community, right? So you need contracts and you need grants and you need funding that will allow for funding to come in. Let's say if they wanted to put, let's say $20,000 towards STEM-based learning, that's fine. I can take a contract like that and I can diversify it. I can make it great at the site and use it towards STEM-based, a multiple range of STEM-based projects. But if I have a specific government contract that says I have to do X, Y, and Z, then I have to follow X, Y, and Z. So it's really the contract restraints.
Okay. So, all right. So now we're gonna have the next question from I think Guillermo.
I mean, Al.
Can you repeat that again, please?
It's from Al.
Oh, Al. Okay.
Okay.
Navigate through the telephone. Yes, Al.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. Well, good evening, everybody. And thank you for having two such informative and inspiring presentations.
Thank
Both
you.
by Eva and Ramon. There's so much negative going on, in the news. It's inspiring to see that people are working, so hard to improve things and engage people in these challenging times. So I just wanted to say two quick things. I'm the old timer in the room, and I know Ramon for quite a while. As a matter of fact, I used to be the director for PAL in something called the High School InStep program. This is years and years ago. And Ramon was one of my star high school students who, even at that age, was already engaged in promoting community involvement, getting involved in civics. He was a keynote speaker at the city council when we had our campaign to get 16 and 17-year-olds on community boards. He went straight to the council and challenged the council to pass a resolution of support for legislation to make that the law. So in a nutshell, Ramon is not only extremely credentialed and qualified, but he is a man of unusual passion who wants to see great programming be provided to as many young people as possible in the community. My one recommendation, Ramon, would be, continue to outreach to principals, but try to find gatekeepers in the schools in addition to the principals, because there's gatekeepers that have special interests. There may be guidance counselors, There may be parent advocates, or they may be specialists like in STEM at their schools that would like to see an extension of what they're doing in the school continue in an after-school format. So you might have a STEAM to STEAM partnership. You can't start and stop with just the principals themselves, because especially given what they've been through with COVID, it's been overwhelming. So you got to kind of broaden your net. Also churches, might be another good place to go, because you have you're very concerned church leaders and parents in the churches that may not have news about what you're doing and would be excited, to send their kids to you. And now I will shut up.
No, please don't shut up. I think with all the experience and the years that you spent in PAL, definitely, where everything is in each corner. I think it would be very helpful, any feedback or any volunteers that you definitely wanted to, to share with Ramon and with the rest of us, because I think you can teach many of us about, about all this. Half of your life has gone through, have been devoted to PAL. So, and that's why I'm saying that. So I think Ramon, the role that he's just, started exercising, so he will need all possible assistance that he can get. So, and I think it's a good thing that Steve actually recommended him to join our committee, so he can, outreach the community. And then I wanted to add to that anything that, like the flyers or any information that he want us to, the board to convey to the entitled committee, so just the community, so just to feel free to share with us. I also wanted to encourage him, as I also encourage other presenters, focusing on the building relationship in the community, that he should contact the District School 6, the Superintendent Office, the Community Education Council 6. These are the folks that work very close with the parent associations. We also work with them close, but it won't hurt for you to also present there. If you don't have their contact, I would volunteer to put you in contact with the superintendent and also with the Community Education Council, as well. And perhaps you may want it to also outreach other community boards, like Community Board 9, if you want to present there, they're in Harlem, or Community Board 10 as well, because PAL is everywhere in New York City. That's what I think. And it won't hurt to, to let them know of, all the good stuff, all the information that, you have at your site. So.
Yeah. If I can just add one last thing, we also have events throughout the year. We just finished up a scholarship ceremony with the participants. It's called the Robert McGuire Scholarship. It's for high school seniors. I was a former winner of the Robert McGuire Scholarship. And we also have something coming up that we do with the NYPD, which is Police Commissioner for a Day. I was also one of the winners for that contest as well when I was a teenager. And it's a very, very cool essay contest. You get to, you write on basically a change that you would like to make within the city itself. That's not even just the coolest part. The coolest part is you go down to 1 PP and you actually get awarded an award from the police commissioner, as well as other officials from the police department. And you get to hang out with the police commissioner for the day. It's definitely an experience that I will never forget. I actually have one of the pictures somewhere in this office, but it's an experience I'll never forget.
Thank you. So when I spoke to Mr. Spence, so I was telling him about your involvement and your great support along with PAL with the youth and police building bridges, which hopefully, I would like to continue, counting, with their support. And I think that may not necessarily be at this meeting because of the time, but maybe you wanted to explain to him and decide what this is all about. It's up to you. But I know that elaborating into that may may take some time, but you're free to also, since you basically brought PAL into this great initiative. I think that I would like to see at least that that Mr. Spencer follow that path. So I think it's a good thing. Yes. So I just wanted to know if any of our colleagues or anybody else may have comments. Let me see. I see Eva, you still have another questions? Dr. Eva Lopez?
Yes, I just wanted to, to inquire if the programming only has to happen during after school hours. I'm just wondering if there's any possibility to partner with specific teachers in buildings that might be interested in doing expanded learning and would take their students to your facility during the school day. So that might be a way to draw that connection. And also, I'm not sure what other programs are actually in the buildings, in the school buildings. I know that several schools have after-school programs that are already operating in the building, which may be one of the challenges. But if a program, for example, doesn't have STEM and you offer STEM, they might be able to bring some of their classes to the facility so that you can provide the service, or you could send your staff member over. That might be a way. I'm not sure if that's a way to I don't know if that's even possible, but if it were, it may be a way to partner with the different organizations so that you're expanding the programming, right, across the board. And even your young people might be able to get services that you're not offering yet, right, with what they might be doing. So I don't know.
Definitely.
So I guess that was a comment, not a question.
Yes, it was a comment, sorry. And actually I do have to go because I have to finish some grading. So thank you very much. And I'm going to leave for the evening.
Okay, I'm going to follow up on an email and bring you both of you, together for further, elaborating or possibility of, for partnership or collaboration. I think that would be a good thing to do. Al, I see that you have your hands still up. So I don't know if you have another question or comment.
No, I'm just waiting for the announcement part of the meeting.
Oh,
So
all right.
I'll speak then.
All right. Yes. Well, yes. Okay. Dr. Lopez, I just wanted to thank you again for your presentation. We will be in touch definitely. And, I hope that you take something very productive out of this meeting. So thank you again.
Yes, and I'm going to be headed out as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for having me. I look forward to the next meeting. And like I said, please come on down to the Armory. My doors are open. If you want to come in the morning time before the kids come in, typically if you want to visit, you have to come between the hours of, I would say 11 and 2 o'clock, because we don't have outside visitors while the participants are inside the building for regulation purposes. But please come on by. The more the merrier. The more people that come by, the more I can promote the program and the more I can pitch it for better contracts for the community. That's really my overall goal, is to get the community the proper resources, well, enhance the resources, I should say, that are already here, because it's already rich in culture. So I just want to add to that.
Wonderful. And before you leave, I just wanted to say once again that whenever you decide to see or to watch this meeting again, you can always go to YouTube and search, our title. And there you can see the whole meeting again on your own leisure. And share with friends as well.
Perfect. All right. Thank you
Thanks
so
again
much.
for joining us.
All right. Everyone have a good one. Al, thank you so much for everything as always. And we'll be talking soon. Hope I made you proud.
Thank you. All right, so now I wanted to move to the phase of all in new business. So this is the time in which I wanted to encourage community members and the general community. If anyone has an announcement, I believe that someone by the name Kay Ruther, she's the executive director of Uptown Story. I don't know if she's without Sheena, can you see if Kay Ruther?
She was with us, but I don't see her now.
No. Well, that's the section. Well, if she come back, so just let me know. So I know that Al has an announcement, and I don't know who else. Whoever else may have an announcement, please just raise your hand. I would appreciate that very much. So Al, go ahead, please.
Okay, so this is a hold the date announcement for Hike the Heights, which this year will be in its 18th year in the community. So the date is Saturday, June 4th, and the initial gathering place will be at Edgecombe Park, which is at the intersection of West 164th Street and Edgecombe Avenue. The event is being led this year by Coach Dave Crenshaw, and he is being assisted by some members of the Nursing Association, the Mailman School of Health, the Word Up Bookstore, and other people that are going to bring storytelling and creative arts to the activity. There will be food, fun, and games.
I like that.
Kids and adults who are brave and want to get engaged in the exercise, they're welcome. And there will also be a hike up Edgecombe Avenue to the bridge, going across to the High Bridge section of the Bronx as a hiking experience. So we'll have more details as they get more specifically planned in the future, but just hold that date for Saturday, June 4th for Hike the Heights.
Wonderful. All right. Any other announcement? I know that, what is it? Dave, Coach Dave, sometimes, he been having a lot of, community events, but I know he's been very active with the vaccine, the COVID vaccine. And I know that he developed a schedule. And I think that would be a good idea for him to also make any announcement that, so he can post that on our, in our meeting. But so he knows that whatever he want announcement, he can just join us. So definitely, and we can, share the word with the community, but, it's not happening. So, but he welcome to do that as well. Thank you, Al. So I'm not sure we have anybody else. Let's see. Let's see. Well, Al, you still have your raise up, Al, so you may want to bring it down. So, Chanel.
There's someone named Julia Chait that would like to make an announcement. And also Cassandra Collazo.
Cassandra Collazo, okay. So can you promote them, please? Thank you, Chanel. Let's see who is first. Julie. Okay.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes, who's identify yourself for the record, please.
Hi, my name is Julia Chait.
Julie what?
Julia Chait.
Julia, okay. Yes, Julia.
Hello, everyone. My name is Julia Chait, and I'm a youth worker and mental health advocate. I'm here to discuss a new workshop series and the importance of mental health awareness. Specifically, I'm introducing a mental health awareness workshop series. This is known as the Healthy Mind series. This is a free 3-week series co-hosted by myself and a clinical psychologist on April 21st, April 28th, and on May 5th. This series entails educating the community on mental health, emphasizing the importance of mental health awareness, providing tools to cope along with stress busters, offering emotional first aid and tips for seeking professional help from a counselor. This past summer, I co-led a group of 15 youth from Washington Heights, Inwood, and the Bronx, struggling socially, emotionally, and academically. I've been volunteering at Growth and Development Services for about a year now, and I've seen firsthand the progress and effectiveness of therapeutic interventions and mental health counseling for youth. There's a dire need for free mental health support and psychoeducational services more than ever before. COVID has only exacerbated the needs, and yet resources are limited. This is why we offer this free platform for our community. I've co-led these workshops before, and the attendees report that they're very supportive and helpful. We believe youth need a healthy and safe environment to thrive, not just to survive. I would love to invite you all to our very first virtual event on Zoom on April 21st. If anyone is interested in collaborating, please let me know and Dr. Gary will contact you. Faye, I hope you will share this with the community as well. I also have flyers for each event in both English and Spanish, and I can email that to you after this meeting. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And thank you, for bringing the announcement. Definitely, if you send the flyer, we can share, with the community. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yes. Next is Ms. Collazo, I think. Yes.
Yes, hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Cassandra Collazo, and I'm the Girl Scout troop leader at the Good Shepherd School. And I'm just representing Al Santino of Uptown Community Church. And Faye, he wanted to know if he could present at your next meeting in reference to the Youth Roundtable.
I highly request that all requests for presentation has to be in writing. And all I need is, I think I said that, all you have to send me is the title of your presentation and the name of the presenter. We will be glad to add you in our next agenda. Yes, but send it as soon as possible because we have a lot of requests, but we cannot have 3 presentations because that would be too overwhelmed. But if you send it to me, like let's say sometime this week or next week, so I definitely will guarantee you that we can put you in our agenda. Again, the title of your presentation and the name of the presenter, please. And if there is 2 presenters, so the name and the title and the organization that they will be presenting.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome. Thank you. Anybody else? Let's see who else. Yeah, Cassandra. All right, I think there is nobody else has any question. Okay, so what about Sheree Johnson? Is just a witness of this meeting? Sheree, is there anything that you want to say? Well, Rosemary Mora as well. I didn't see that. I don't know if they may want to say anything. Mansita Daiwala also. Chanel, are these attendees able to raise their hand? I'm not sure. Like for example,
Yes, they're able to raise their hand, I believe.
Oh, so that means that they have no question or any comments. They just, witnessing the program. All right, so I guess at this time we are going to adjourn the meeting, but before I adjourn the meeting, members, I wanted to ask, any one of you would like to suggest or take the responsibility if you want to, if you wish, and if you can, of course, did you want to bring or recommend any presenter for our next meeting? Let's see. Hold on. Gabby, you wanna, and Wendy, did you wanted to recommend anyone? Wendy, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. What was the question again?
The question is, if any of you would like to, I want to encourage you to recommend any item, any guest that you would like to see to present in our next meeting. Our next meeting is going to be, I believe it's May 9, if I'm not mistaken, Monday, May 9. And if you want to recommend any guests to speak or to present, even your own program, youth initiative. So just any message that you wanted to convey the community, I think it's a good idea, guys, if you wanted to recommend anyone. I just wanted just to put that, in the air. So you may want to consider it. I would like to see that some of you may do some recommendation for meetings. And that's something that you are all the right to do so. So, and that would be very helpful as well.
Okay, I'll definitely think of any possibilities and email you directly, Faye.
Yeah, or any friends that you think that the community may, it would be good for the community to know, because we have a lot of resources, programs, and folks that, they are doing awesome things, but, they need that exposure. And I think it's a good idea to recommend those programs or tell them that we are willing to bring or to second that, whatever program or whatever message they may have for the community. This is a very important thing. So, Gabriela, you may not need, or your program may not need that, but think about it, something as well. I know Catholic Charity is everywhere, but nevertheless, it's good that the community know, things that folks that for some reason they may not get the message directly and they may get through us, So just feel free to share any message that you think it might be, under your discretion, that this might be a good idea to share with the community.
Yeah, I will think it through and get back to you. I don't like to improvise things so important. So I'd rather to take time and try to think.
No. I'm not expecting that you or none of you will come up with an answer as I'm speaking or as I'm coming up, because this is something that I've been saying in our email, and I've been encouraging all of you all the time. But today I decided to say this to all of you, just as a reminder that, in case that you have forgotten, or, I know that you guys all deal with a lot of resources, and we know a lot of folks, a lot of organizations, even the organization that you work for, and the counties, because you have partners as well. So I think it's a good idea if you can contribute with the idea of encouraging any organization to join us. But this is actually, it's up on you. It's if you wish, because I just suggesting this because that will enhance, our duty. So, and that's all I wanted just to say, to encourage you to help us in that sense. So I want to thank you for lending me your ears. And this is it. So I am going to, is there any comment on anyone, any questions? So if we don't have any comment or any question, I would like to adjourn the meeting at 8:42 p.m. And I just call in the motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:45. May I have a second on this?
I second.
Wendy?
Oh, Michelle.
Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. Okay, you all have a good evening. Oh, thank you. And Guillermo, all of you,
Good
thank
evening,
you.
everybody.